lot of people use sleeping tablets or melatonin. Some of it's over the counter, some of it's prescribed. I think one of the latest stats is that 1 in 3 may use some type of pharmaceutical aid to sleep. What's your advice in this space? Like, I'm kind of more interested in the potential risks for people who might think, like, the end justifies the means. It's making me sleep 7 or 8 hours. I feel rested when I get up. But as a long-term habit, what have you seen in your practice, and what advice would you give people?
I think 1 in 3, that sort of thing. I think there's over the couple of decades, things have really shifted in the last decade, last 5 or 6 years, and simply because we've got such an enormous amount of access to things through our fingertips and our devices, that in your own personal little space, you can go down rabbit holes, you can go down cul-de-sacs, you can get influenced by things, and you can just press a few buttons and it arrives in a box, So it's a bit like that sort of mattress. If you haven't sort of gone along the process of raising your awareness, you whether you've mentioned it or not, but read my book, for heaven's sake, and just start to think about little things, circadian rhythms, chronotype, sleeping in cycles, doing this, better recovery approach, environment. Then, what we tend to do is dive into isolated solutions, right? Because it's not in our DNA to go and talk to a sleep coach or even go to the GP to talk about problems with sleeping, right? So you tend to just find a little... So you buy a new mattress because it says it'll help you sleep. You buy a new pillow. There's a reason why there are millions of pillows sold all the time. It's because they just make things worse. They don't generally make it better. So it's... And you sort of look at that and you go, hang on a minute. Melatonin supplements. Now, I know about supplements, omega-3 and multivitamins and things like that, and well, yeah, but have you got a melatonin deficiency? And you start off on 10 milligrams, and then you end up on a higher milligram, and then suddenly it's not having any effect. Sleeping tablets. If you go to your doctor, it's quite specific. They don't make it up. They would only prescribe you with a sleeping tablet if you were in a pretty severe state, and they needed to use this sedative to reset you, okay? But they'd only give you a week's prescription, and if you came back for more, they wouldn't give you any more. You know what I mean? So you but you just order sleeping tablets because you want to sleep better, so take a sleeping tablet. But what you have to understand is that anything that you bring into your objective to improve the way you sleep or help you sleep and everything else should be focused on this very natural approach, not by adding in things. Because, one tablet, because it's the night before an exam or it's an event or something like that, then it becomes pre and post it. Then it becomes, unless you take a tablet, you're scared stiff, you won't sleep. So it's like coming on and off these things. And I've seen it inside of schools, that moms and dads travelling around can get hold of things and stuff like that and give them to their kids, and suddenly they start off and they're on